In this video, I'm gonna show you how I set everything up to shoot these kinds of videos in the middle of my living room. Hello everyone, this is Ernesto with Aftershoot, and this is a tutorial of the tutorials. Like, I'm shooting a video to show you how I shoot the tutorials I usually shoot for after. You get what I'm saying. Let's jump right to it. There's 5 things you have to take into consideration when shooting a video like this one. The first one's the scene, the second one the camera, third lighting, fourth is the sound, and the fifth one is the software. Let's start with the scene. It's very important to choose or build a stage in which your video is gonna look good in. Now, of course, looks are not everything. Not just because a corner of your house looks pretty means that corner is the best place to shoot a video in. That spot you've picked to create your stage has to be work-aroundable, if the word exists. That means that apart from the area being nice, you have to have space in order to put your lighting, your tripod with your camera, and different things that are gonna help you produce your video. Another thing I take into consideration is I like to avoid windows, because windows introduce lighting I cannot control that can change the exposure of my video or the white balance of my video. So windows for me is a no-go. After we're done with the set or the stage, we have to think about the camera, the position of the camera, and the lens we're gonna use. Now, I like to keep my camera at the same level as my eyes, so that I am at the same level as the viewer is. In this case, I'm using an A7 IV and a 55mm f1.8 lens. Now, it doesn't matter if it's Sony, Canon, Nikon, they all work. I like Sony because I feel like I can trust the autofocus to follow me wherever I move within my frame. Now, a lot of people like to shoot these kinds of videos with a wide angle lens, and of course, that's much more convenient because the camera would be able to be closer to me and I would be able to control it easier. With a 55mm lens, the camera has to be further away from me. So in theory, every time I start and stop the recording, I would have to stand up, go all the way to the camera, click and come back, and click and come back, and then it becomes a hustle. But the way I shoot my videos is I hit record only once and I stop the video only when I'm done. One, because I want to be able to use my 55mm lens to get a blurrier background, and two, because if I start hitting record and stop, I'm going to end up with 35, 40, 50 clips. And then I have to go through all the clips deciding which one works and which one doesn't. With just one clip per recording, for me, it's easier to manage. Now, something I have connected to the camera that I just use to be sure I'm in frame is an external screen. I try to avoid having the screen right on top of the camera because it's gonna draw my attention away from the lens, thus making me lose connection with the viewer. It is very important when you are doing a video to look straight into the lens because then you are connecting with the audience. Now we picked a spot. We talked about the camera elements, it's time to talk about lighting. I like to shoot my videos with a one light setup where the light is very close to me, thus creating these punchy shadows. I like punchy and contrasty scenes. Now that's another reason why I don't like shooting my videos with a wide angle lens, because a wider lens will include more elements inside my frame that I do not want in there. I like to keep my light 45 degrees away from me and with an inclination also of 45 degrees, right here. Now of course, I'm using a softbox with a grid to avoid the lighting from just spreading all around. The grid makes the light just go straight to me. But if you don't have a special video light to do something like this, don't worry, you can get away with most of it using your basic ring light. Now another little light element I use in my videos just to make them look a little different is that small bulb in the back. There's nothing fancy about it, it's a $20 Amazon purchase. And now we're gonna talk about audio. A lot of people love paying attention to the camera, the lens, the fancy lighting, the screen, different elements, but they do not pay enough attention to audio. And audio is very important because trust me, you can watch a badly lit video for quite some time, but if the audio is terrible, you're just gonna skip it. Right now I'm using the Rode Wireless Go 2 and it's connected to a Rode lavalier microphone. Now you don't need a wireless microphone to shoot a tutorial. You can get away with a shotgun microphone or any microphone for that matter. I like using wireless microphones because it's one less cable I can trip over. But if you don't mind the cables and you're looking for a cheaper option, I will go with a lavalier microphone and an audio cable extension that goes all the way underneath the table into the camera. Now let's talk about software. If I'm shooting an Aftershoot tutorial and I want people to see what's going on in my computer, I need to screen record what's going on here. Now there's a lot of screen recording softwares out there, but the one I use is free and it's called OBS Studios. OBS was actually created for streaming purposes, but at the same time, it allows you to stream to different platforms. It also allows you to record what's going on in your computer. So all I had to do was create a scene that only involves my screen, and instead of streaming it, I record it. If I'm working with a larger monitor, I can increase the amount of pixels in the video, and if I'm working with a smaller one, I can decrease the size of the video. If you're looking for a software that's gonna allow you to stream or screen record what you do in your computer, I recommend OBS Studios hands down. Now, of course, people like talking about the camera, the lenses, the lighting, the screens, the microphone, and all the technological shenanigans. But it's very important never to forget that the most important thing is the message you're gonna put out there. The best thing I can recommend is to have your tutorials well planned before you start shooting them. If you decide to wing them and just make things up as you go, they're gonna become boring and people are gonna be able to tell. Think of it as a present and the wrapping. This whole technology surrounding this video, it's just the wrapping. The message is the present. Once people get over the wrapping, if there is no present, then it's worthless. Like, comment, and share this video with people you think might find this information useful, and don't forget to follow Aftershoot in all of our different social media platforms. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.